Zeusz started day one, according to Lieutenant Zeusz. He was January 12th, 2007, and his passing was, again, February 11th, 2014. I think the best description of Zeusz is what Eric had written on a memorial card to the department, and he said, "A candle that burns twice as bright lasts half as long," and that was so true of Zeusz and his life and his work at the PD. Zeusz has received 3 meritorious awards by the department for outstanding work in conjunction with Eric, his deft handling of the dog. One was for a burglary in Enfield, and we had a serial burglar who had been plaguing Enfield business district for some time, and they put a task force together, and Eric got the call about 11 o'clock at night before his shift ended at Berlin to shoot up to Enfield to see if they could do a track because someone had seen the burglar exit the building, a cleaning person. So they contained the area, they didn't know where he went, and K9 Zeusz with Eric got to work, and after about a quarter mile of tracking, the person had hidden in a brushy briar area. And not wanting to go in, Zeusz was given the command, and Zeusz brought the suspect out. The second one, the second award that he got was for our own Webster Bank robbery, where it was an afternoon robbery, and later that evening, a person who was watching the TV news at night learned of the robbery at Webster Bank and had been traveling down Route 9 southbound and said, "You know, there was a car parked on an overpass above the bank." And I just thought it was kind of odd that it happened at about the same time that I drove by that the robbery had occurred. So 5 hours later, Zeusz and Officer Chase began a search at the back of the bank, and Zeusz immediately took a track and went up to the highway. When Officer Chase came back, he says, "I think we have your robber." And it's also like $5,000 in cash all over the woods on the embankment going up. So I recovered $5,000 and change in cash on the embankment. And in addition, Zeusz also found a piece of evidence, a mask, whose DNA revealed who the robbery suspect was, and resulted in 3 arrests for that serial set of robberies that the banks in our town and area towns were getting. And posthumously, Zeusz is going to be recognized again for another burglary that he solved at Randy Ford. Randy Ford had been burgled, and the suspect had left the back of the building and ran through some fields and some brush, and it was a day later. And again, Zeusz took up a track, went into the woods, and Eric was trying to drag him away from an area, and fortunately, Zeusz was obstinate, as he was, and took him right back, and there on a piece of cinder was a glove, and inside the glove was DNA, and we just recently learned who that that burglar is, and a warrant's being issued. So Zeusz again came through for us. A funny time that we had with Zeusz was we were looking at a couple of hikers up on Ragged Mountain, and this was after dark, and Sergeant Gallup had called Eric to the scene just on a chance that maybe we could find the lost hikers. And indeed, he took off in the dark without a flashlight, and we're not even sure it was the right set of hikers, but lo and behold, it was. Eric found them and was able to bring them down with Zeusz safely. And that's just two times in Ragged Mountain, yeah. We also had a robbery in Wethersfield. So this dog has done a lot of work in the area towns, and in Wethersfield they had a robbery in mid-afternoon, and a fellow ran. The robber ran, left the scene. Eric was brought to the scene where he was last standing. They took a track, went over a half mile, and went right to the individual's backyard. And then, assuming that we're looking for a man trail, meaning we're trying to look for a human, rather the dog signaled that he had evidence. And there, under a portico, was a tarp, and under the tarp was a quantity of drugs and a handgun. When he got done with that piece of work, he then went to the back door of the house where the robber lived. And we made, Weathersfield made an arrest on that as well. So there's a lot of stories like that just go on. So Officer Legoo, you got some work cut out for you. You're going to have to giddy up and catch up to what Zeusz has done. At this point, I would like, Eric, if you would, we've interred Zeusz, and in memory of Judy, this was her office window, and that's our dogwood and our memorial to Zeusz. Right around, how about the roses? It's all right. That concludes today's passing of the leash. Thank you very much for attending. Have a great day.